Alright guys, we're back. Grappler Fall Classic previews. It's going down this Saturday, October 18th, Kellogg Arena, Battle Creek, Michigan. We got studs coming from all over the country. We got over 700 kids coming. High school, middle school, elementary division. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right now we're breaking down the high school division. We're breaking down 130 pounds. I'm Tony Greathouse, Grappler Fall Classic Tournament Director, owner of MichiganGrappler.com, and with me to my left I got the two smartest guys in wrestling in the country. That is Associated Wrestling Press High School Analyst Steve Wodzinski and Associated Wrestling Press College Analyst JJ Johnson. These guys are going to give me their insight, give you their insight, and what to watch for in the 130-pound weight class, which is highlighted by Lincoln Olson from Michigan. Last-minute entry just informed us today that he's come and got registered. He's a returning GFC champ. He's a three-time Michigan Division I state champ, going for his fourth Division I state title, which has only happened a handful of times. And also a recent Oklahoma State commit, Cowboy Up. So let's talk about it, Steve. Talk about Lincoln and also the rest of the seeds that we have in this weight class and what we have to offer.
So Lincoln, top 10 guy in the country. Resume speaks for itself. Looking down the list, at number 2 we got Franco Valdez, two-time Florida State champ. Number 3 is Matt Santos. Really wrestles well at the GFC the past couple of years. He's a Michigan State runner-up. Number 4, Riley Brown, Michigan State runner-up, Whitehall. Number 5 is Dresden Simon, had a really good summer. Had a win over Chad Red, along with some other really good kids. He's the 5 seed. He's a Michigan State runner-up as well, and a former, I believe he was a GFC runner-up last year. Number 6 is Keegan Duncan from Kentucky, 3-time state placer. Number 7, Dan Shear, Walled Lake Central High School in Michigan. He was, I want to say, 3rd at Junior Folk Style Nationals, also 3rd in the state. Number 8, Cedarian Perry, state runner-up, Florida. Number 9, Garrett Sioka, state runner-up, Wisconsin. Number 10, John Locksmith, 3rd in the state in Florida. Number 11, Glenn Beardsley, GFC placer, I want to say 3rd in the state in Michigan. Then rounding it out, we got all state placers. David Leja at 12, Nathan Ellis at 13, Jake Busing at 14, Cole Krause at 15, Carlo Marceau at 16, all Michigan guys. And looking at the unseeded guys, we got even more state placers. Jonathan Estacio from Florida, Isaac Nave from Michigan, Jonah Gomes from Florida. So the depth here is on par with pretty much any of the other weights of this tournament.
So we're talking 19 state placers. Did I hear that? Did I hear that correctly?
We're talking 19 state placers.
19 returning state placers. That means that we got probably 20 kids in this bracket that are going to place in the state this year that aren't going to place this Saturday at the Grappler Fall Classic. Going to be a loaded weight class. Going to be some really good matchups. You know, even unseeded guys that are going to be right in the mix. We could have some amazing first-round matchups. Of these matchups that you see, potential matchups, guys to watch, what do you see, JJ?
I see a lot of really good kids, for sure. I think Lincoln is a head and shoulders above the rest of them. But you look at 2 and 3, Franco Valdez and Matt Santos. Both these guys are really tough. Santos was in the semis, the GFC last year, and wrestled Mason Smith for like an hour and a half.
That was an amazing match.
So he's really tough. And Franco Valdez, I got to watch in Disney this summer, and he's a hammer too. He's a 2-time state champion. He's a sophomore, so that means he won it in 8th grade. Wrestles really hard pace, really good at hand fighting, stays in good position. So those guys I'm looking at watching. And also at 4 and 5, Riley Brown, Dresden Simon, kind of going to be, in my opinion, like the Mason Smith Kanan Storr match, where one of them's really good on the mat and longer, and one of them is really good from the open, stuff like that. And then there's a guy down at 11 that I think is going to make a lot of noise. That's Glenn Beardsley. He looked really tough last weekend. Really good on his feet, wrestles really hard, knows his positions. So those are some guys to watch.
Steve, what do you see, and you know, how do you see this bracket kind of playing out?
Well, like JJ said, I think Lincoln Olson, I think he's going to take care of business, score a whole lot of takedowns, using his patented sweep single, low single game, and I think he's in the finals. The other way, I really like Franco Valdez and Matt Santos. I'm kind of leaning toward Valdez, but Santos wrestles a really tight, low-scoring style, and I think the riding time is going to help him, and that's what I could really see going either way. Looking more down the bracket, I like Dan Shear a lot, the 7th seed. He's really trending upward. And the 13th seed, Nathan Ellis, big fan. Didn't wrestle in the postseason last year, but could have been a pretty high state placer. Placed 4th as a freshman 2 years ago, so that's a guy I like to make some noise as well.
Goodrich, Michigan. Let's talk about some potential dark horse picks. And what I really want to know right now is an unseeded guy that you see who could be a potential bracket buster. Because when we say unseeded, when we seed 1 through 16 at the Grappler Fall Classic, but then everybody else gets drawn in. So if you're unseeded, you could be wrestling anybody first round. They could be wrestling Lincoln Olson first round. So who do you see as a guy that's unseeded that is like someone to watch out for that you don't want to see first round if you're a seeded guy? Steve.
Brennan Joseph, Ohio State qualifier. Haven't ever watched him wrestle, but just looking at his results, he's a tough kid who was right on the cusp of being seeded in the top 16. He could be a pretty bad draw.
JJ?
Jonathan Estacio from Florida, from the same club as Valdez. Pretty tough kid, bigger. For 130, he wrestled 37 in Disney this summer and had a pretty decent match with Nate Lemix, so I think he could make some noise.
I'm going to give you a Michigan guy who's unseeded to watch out for, and that's right out of Brighton, Michigan, Kyle Bonesack. State qualifier last year. I think he's really starting to come into his own. Obviously, I'm a little impartial
I thought that was implied.
He's one of my athletes. But also a fun fact about Kyle Bonesack is he is a state cycling champion. The kid's got endurance. Just saying, 6-minute matches this early in the year. Some guys can be out of shape. Not Bonesack. Watch out for him. All right, so that's our sleepers, unseeded guys. Who you got winning that?
Oh, Lincoln Olson all day.
Is it Lincoln Olson all day, JJ?
It's Olson all day over Santos in the finals.
So, obviously this is a pretty tough weight. Really good kids other than Lincoln Olson. What is it about Lincoln that sets him apart from this field and why he's such a clear-cut favorite to win it?
He's just really attacks, and his offense is just as good in the last minute of the match as it is in the first period of the match. So a lot of times you'll see his matches be like 2-1, 4-2, and then the third period he'll open it up and win like 15-5. So I think he's just he can attack for 6 minutes like no one else at this weight, and I think he's just going to be too much on his feet.
Anything to add to that, JJ?
Yeah, I just think it's the classic Davison hammer. Relentless pace, heavy hands, and he gets to his positions that he knows he's good in, and that's been the formula for over a decade now. So.
His lefty sweep's one of the best in the country. He's going to shoot it and keep going and keep firing it off until he gets it. So definitely going to be a fun one to watch, Lincoln Olson, as he goes for a repeat Grappler Fall Classic title. You can follow along all week long, the pre-seeds, all the previews, all the insight, everything you need to know. GrapplerFallClassic.com, MichiganGrappler.com. And you can follow us on Twitter for updates as well, at MishGrappler. We're hashtagging everything GFC 2014. And as always, we're going to hashtag Get Some.